Melissa Jakes, the Olivia Pope of virtual and live events, is the CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, a Washington, D.C. based boutique event planning firm to influencers, organizations, and corporations. During this pandemic, Melissa's expertise in online event planning has become a hot commodity. Her company also provides several courses on topics related to event planning and entrepreneurship. She gives mommypreneurs the tools and services to balance career, business ownership, and management with family. Melissa has spoken at several events such as Facebook Boost and conducted workshops at universities and small businesses. She has been featured in several publications such as Event Planner Association Podcast, Rent My Wedding Magazine, Morgan State University, iHeartRadio, CEO Blog Nation, BET Influencer, and Event Planner Expo 2020. She provides entrepreneurs with special tools to combat what she calls FWD, fear, worry, and doubt obstacles, in order to break through and become successful owners. Mommypreneurs, let's welcome Melissa Jakes.
Hey, happy Wednesday, Mommypreneurs. I hope you guys are doing well today. Happy Wednesday. We are almost out of the month of January. And I can't believe it, right? And so, of course, I got stuck with the little one again. So we are going to kick it today, right? Right. All right, you guys. So I am super excited that you're able to join us today. Welcome to Mommypreneur Wednesdays. As you can see, I had that whole big introduction. I don't need to introduce myself. So I want to get right into it. We need to make sure we have our sponsors nice and hot and ready for you. And if you are looking to be a sponsor on the Mommypreneur Show, because not only do we have a show, we also have a podcast and we have a community that is growing. And so we would love to feature your business once a month on the Mommypreneur Wednesday show. So definitely send us an email at hello@melissajakes.com and we would definitely to talk to you through that. So we're going to talk about, if you guys know already, Power Moves candle. And so as mommies, we need that extra boost. We need that extra energy to really get us going. And the best thing that I do to make sure I can shift my energy, I can get things done, go through my to-do list, kill it, is burning this candle called Power Moves. And I like to do it on Mondays. I call it Power Moves Mondays, right? Or Money Making Mondays, because in our business, we definitely have to make money or we would not be in business. So in shifting the energy, especially you have little ones at home or you're doing virtual learning like I am as well, sometimes you just need to be like, all right, I got to get some things done. I got about 2 hours. Let me crank it out. Light a candle, shift your energy. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. And if you head over to noirbynaray.com that you see scrolling at the bottom and using the code Melissa Jakes, you will get money off of your purchase. So definitely head over there. Let them know Melissa Jakes sent you and you will get some money off of your purchase. So yes, do that, okay? All right, I am super excited because this girl, oh my goodness, I've known her before I even had Gabby, even before I got married. So that's about, it's almost been 9 years. It's probably been 9 years that we've known each other. And that's, you have good friends, you keep good friends, right? And even though we don't work in the same space anymore, we still stay in contact and everything. I mean, yeah, we've done a lot of things together with a marriage, kids, everything. We've gone through a lot, okay? So you always keep those good people around. So let me introduce my girl properly. Her name is Samantha Saunders. She is a therapist who gets to know you, who you are, and meet you where you're at. She is a licensed professional counselor who specializes in codependency, toxic relationships, recovery from narcissistic relationships, and trauma. Her goal is to encourage you and inspire you through the journey and to journey of pushing past what you feel at that moment as that comfort zone, to a person of God or a higher self being, where you want to be, a place where you're at peace, love, self control, patience, but most of all, enjoying yourself and your life in the process. She is a mom of two gorgeous boys, and she loves chai tea, especially with pumpkin syrup. It might be from Starbucks. So let me introduce you guys to Samantha Saunders. Hey, girl.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I am good. Is that from Starbucks?
Yes, from Starbucks, or I make my own at home. Walmart got it too.
Yes, yes. We have, hey, Bianca, nice to meet you, girl. So yes, you guys, Samantha and I, we've been through it all.
Yes,
I feel like
you have. You're right. You did my wedding and
yep, and baby shower.
baby shower. You're right.
Actually, both baby
Both
showers.
baby showers.
Yes, yes. So we yes, going down to Virginia. Love it. Love it. But and then we also worked with each other too. As what was it called? Community support.
Yeah, community support specialist.
Specialist. We like to throw a little title. It's case management.
Right,
okay.
That's all it
was. Yes. And so Samantha and I have worked together, so we know the 9 to 5, but we both have now left the 9 to 5.
Yes.
And that's exactly our topic of making that transition from 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneurship. You are the boss. You have to set the schedule. You got to pay the bills. You got to answer to the clients. You got to do it all. While being a mom, clearly.
Right.
So we're going to get in it. And if you guys have questions as we're going through some questions, and you have questions for Samantha, definitely put it in the chat and we'll bring it up on stage. So as a licensed therapist, what are some tips you can give mommypreneurs who are feeling defeated by their to-do list and overwhelmed by the weeks ahead? That's me. How I get through it, girl?
Right. I mean, I think it's just when you get overwhelmed, you just got to be able to write it all down, because a lot of times you just kind of have it up here and it just stays up there instead of just allowing yourself to just get it out. Because a lot of them, you got to realize on what's in your control, what's not in your control. Right. And so writing it all down, seeing exactly, okay, what are the top 3 things you can just get done for that day instead of putting so much pressure on yourself. And also to work on your strengths, right? And then be able to delegate the rest. Work in your zone of genius, right? Work on what you're good at, and then see how you can delegate the rest. So for some people that could be laundry, or some people that could be in business, it could be just the emails, just seeing what you can let go of and delegate.
That's so important. And writing it down, that definitely does help. There's times I'm like, oh my gosh, my to-do list is like 30 pages long. And then when you write it down, you're like, oh, that's it.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I can make it today.
In your head, it's going to make you anxious and stressed out and overwhelmed.
Right. And I am definitely big on if my to-do list is not done, I start dreaming or like thinking about it in my sleep. And it's just a big interruption. So definitely, that is definitely something that ladies, we should definitely do. Write it down.
Yeah. And even when your mind starts, I like to keep a notebook near me, because even when I'm working on a task, right? And then there's an idea that pops up. Oh, I got to buy this. Okay. Write that down real quick. I can get back to it.
Absolutely. Yes. So what are some self-care techniques you can give busy moms that they can actually incorporate in their daily routine?
So I think it's a lot different from just with the 9 to 5 and then to now, right? And so from the 9 to 5, I had to really squeeze things in or just do it when I can do it and try to have a different schedule. But now I try to really know what is important. So even if it's I have the journal for 5 minutes. There's a 5-minute app, I believe, where you can just journal and it's 3 things you're grateful for, and then 3 things you can do for that day, right? And then you write your actions at the bottom, and you get a 5.
What's the name of that app?
I think it's called 5-minute morning.
Okay.
I think it's called 5-minute morning. I have it on there, and it helps to just kind of at least get some thoughts out, and then also just exercise, even if it's for 10 minutes, like a lot. Sometimes, I can get the boys into exercise with me, and sometimes they're like, I ain't having it. Like, this is so at least I try to get some type of movement going on,
Right.
Be able to really move my body and know it makes me feel good and makes me just have a better attitude and be more productive.
Yeah, it's I'm in this fitness program, which I'm doing very good with eating. I am sucking.
Eating is hard
because my schedule, it just feels like when it gets to 9-10 o'clock at night, it's like I just want to get to bed.
Right.
I've had a long day. But you're right. Even if you just give it 10 minutes, my mind is like, oh, I got to carve out an hour for workout. But, just thinking about, all right, I just need to do 10 minutes and growing from there. That's definitely a good point. That is definitely a good point.
Yeah, YouTube is amazing. It's just like, okay, 10-minute workout, or just kind of stretch or something like that, just to move my body, to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 5-minute app, I love that.
Yeah.
And, because my coach already asks me, what are 3 things you're grateful for today? So that's good that the app does that, because it reminds you of being grateful and coming back to center yourself.
Right, because it says that at least the happiness and positivity, just think in a more positive place when you're able to be grateful. But also what you can do is also just kind of listen to music or podcasts, whether it's just while you're working on something else or while you're, commuting if you're still working. So it makes a big difference on being able to just kind of utilize that time that you have instead of just kind of listening to nothing. Just kind of get some stuff here in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how can therapy help mommypreneurs grow their business through their personal development?
I think just self-awareness is key in a lot of areas that people don't realize, just getting to know more about yourself, getting to know about like old habits that you're having that tend to be a problem for you, or sometimes don't even realize on just how your relations are being affected, or how in relationships, if, your home life isn't the best, sometimes it takes over to work. Or if it doesn't, how you can be able to manage all of that and just seeing. And it's also about taking time for you where you just focus on you, right? 'Cause a lot of times we don't get that. We have to, worry about the kids or worry about, whether, your parents or other family members or your coworkers, or the business, but not having time just to check in with how you're feeling and, what is needed for you. And that's important.
How often should we do that? Like, how often should we check in?
Well, for therapy, it's kind of seeing how you can fit it within your schedule. I know even for me, I do it every 2 weeks, right? Because I even need to be able to just check in with somebody because I'm always pouring into other people. And we got to realize as moms, you do as well. We pour into other people. But as far as just checking in with yourself, I invite even just my clients to do this every day, to check in with yourself, to say, okay, how am I feeling? What is it that I need? To really see on how you can be able to fulfill those things for yourself instead of looking for others to do it for you.
Yes. Yes, that's so important. It is so important. How can mommypreneurs include their children in their daily self-care routines, or even or some therapeutic tools like journaling? So I know we said the app. I mean, they're
right.
Your kids are app age.
Right. Well, I know with, my son, when I'm trying to meditate, sometimes he'll do it with me and, he'll sit down for like 2 seconds. But I mean, in other times, he's like, oh no, I'm okay. But I think I'm doing it constantly. So they know like mommy is probably going to work out for an hour. So ask them to change it. No, mommy's not changing. It's quiet time. So I just make sure they know that, mommy gets time to take care of themselves. I don't want it to make it seem like it's foreign to them and me, just taking care of yourself. So I would say just kind of, invite them in, like, okay, do you want to work out with mommy? I'm not changing it, but I'm welcome to add you to go with me. So of course, my youngest one is either climbing under me, or if I'm bending over, trying to get on my back, and I'll be like, it is mommy's time, and mom will play with you afterwards. And so I make sure to follow through with that. And, as it took some time, and like I said, like it just happened overnight and he just did it. It took some time to know, but he knows, like, as soon as we wake up, I make it just each day, like, that I'm going to work out or do something that's going to pertain to mommy taking care of herself.
Yeah. What about the meditation? Do you invite them to meditate?
I do invite him to meditate. They say no. They usually say no, or they do the one leg one. I guess they learned it at school or something, the one leg. So they do that. But I want to teach him. I'm trying to teach him exactly how to be able to have that quiet time. So it doesn't have to be kind of constantly loud, which is still something that has to be keep reminded, like it's quiet. It's quiet time. But I know that I think we both know our limits. Like, I know about an hour, I could maybe push an hour and a half, but an hour is enough time where I can do what I need to do, but also, and I also get up earlier too, to help with that.
Yeah. As they get older, it is easier to beat the house. This one.
I know. He's all up under mommy.
Yes. He was waking me up 2-3 times in the night. So yes, but that is important. So it's trying to just fit it in and putting a part of your schedule, and remembering that. That and I know, like, Gabby will kind of try to do some yoga stuff. I've never done meditation with her, but we've kind of done some yoga poses.
Right. Yeah, they're famous for the the yoga poses, and just I think they still think I actually do work, like go outside to work. So I don't think they really understand the transition of it, but I think me just trying to understand the transition and trying to understand on how I can incorporate the self-care while running the business is, the adjustment piece of it, because I find myself needing more self-care a little bit more than I did when I was in the corporate world.
That's a good, that is a good thing that you talked about. Like, how do you getting kids to realize mommy doesn't work of course they don't understand what the heck corporate world is, but she doesn't do that anymore. She works for herself. How have you told your kids, your boys, about, well, mommy works for herself, so mommy needs her office space, and this time I'm with a client?
Oh, that's the hard one. That's the hard one, because I noticed that I'm more reliant. I know I can't do everything myself. This really has taught me, the transition has taught me that I can't do everything by myself. Like, I need my tribe of people, and so, with just, my best friend, my mom, and just every the people in my life, I just need to be able to see, okay, how is it that I can get help with because like my mom helps with the boys, and if she can come one time, because my Jeremiah will not let me have a client with him, because he'll be banging on the door. So I'm still trying to let him know, like, this is mommy's time working, but I'm still not understanding the concept. So there's still that adjustment period of it.
Right.
Just knowing that, okay, I need to build that tribe of people, and just to allow people to be able to help me, which can be hard sometimes when we feel like we have to do everything ourselves, and has kind of wear all these capes that we don't need to do. We don't need to have.
Yeah, definitely. I upped my babysitting for him, because I realized in the beginning it was pretty cool. Like, okay, bottle, nap, he doesn't make too much noise, whatever. Now he has developed screaming as his way of communication.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, mom, we're going to up our days with you. We'll pay you more, though. because it's just impossible. So yeah, that is now with Gabby, and it'll be interesting to kind of see as he grows. With Gabby, I think, I've always had the business, and so I don't think she understood that I was still working a 9 to 5 and had the business. And I think now in her older years, she just kind of remembers only the business and having meetings. So she is like, oh, mommy has a client, and oh, she does event planning, and I'm gonna plan an event too. I'm gonna work with your client, and so I feel like girls are a little bit more into that, and boys are
because my boys are very active, and he's like, okay, you see a client, what is that? What? Because he doesn't, because he can't physically go with me there. He'll be like, can you? Because before in the corporate world, he can go with me to work, but he can't now. And so he's like, I don't understand this.
Absolutely. So tell us about your business, how people can reach you. I know y'all, she already told me she is booked, and booked. Okay, but there might be a waiting list you can get on.
It's been crazy, but I really, what I do is help women to be able to rediscover who they are after narcissistic and toxic relationships. You really get lost in the midst of that. And so after kind of going through my divorce and everything like that, I really was like, this is what I love to do and how I love to help people. And so I started a Life After Narcissist group. After the individuals got booked up, I started this group to be able to have women have this like intimate group setting where they can really be able to help each other out, which we had our first group session last week, which was amazing, on how immediately they were supportive of one another going through situations. And it was a lot of like Me Too's and and just going through those painful moments together to know they're not alone. Because I know when I had to go through mine, I really felt like I was on my own. So I wanted to be able to provide that for women. And so I do individual sessions as well. If it probably wouldn't be until like March or April. If someone wants to continue to book with me, you can go and email me at admin@movingbeyondyou.org, or thanks, Bianca, or Samantha.saunders@gmail.com.
Yeah, so Christine is like, yes, it's good. Yeah, listen, and that's what we've gone through. We've seen it. Like, we've been there with Samantha. When I say we, another colleague of our, Dana. We've
you guys were in it with me.
Oh my gosh, we've been there. We were like, we got the U-Haul truck. Where we need to meet you at? Okay, it was those type of moments, and it did hurt seeing you go through that. But I knew, especially when you're dealing with your friends and in marriage and all that other stuff, so you got to let the person go through it. And you're there. I'm right here for you, girl. You just, U-Haul, okay? Just tell us where. We got you. Just tell us. But, you had to go through it. And now you're able to help other women to go
to really overcome codependency, because you really don't realize when it's happening. Right. You really don't realize when it's happening. And so to be able to kind of help women in that space, and something that I'm passionate about, it's, and I just, that someone could make it a comment of the day, like, that women of color don't have a space like that to talk about these things. So I'm glad that I'm able to at least provide that and continue to provide that.
Yeah. So if you guys are questioning, Samantha's the truth. She lived it and has overcome it, and will continue to overcome as her children grow. So definitely reach out to her and her group, because individuals are booked. Okay.
Right now. So if they do, it might be until March or April, but if you can contact me, I'll see, try to see what I can do, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Groups are open though.
Yeah.
Yes. when people have not lived it, it's so hard to explain and it's hard to be
Yeah.
able to relate. And so that's why when someone mentions something, I'm like, yes, that's exactly what happens. You know, the manipulation, the gaslighting that happens, and having to come through that because you don't realize how enmeshed you get into it. And so being able to come out of it is a process, is a process, but being able to give the information to kind of help through that process so you're not alone in it is what I specialize in. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. So you guys, and Samantha, thank you so much for coming on. We truly
welcome.
appreciate it. And we definitely make sure, hopefully people definitely will reach out. If you are currently going through it and you need a community, definitely reach her out, go to her website, on social media, and make sure you're staying safe. That's, it can get very dangerous in that type of environment. So make sure you're staying safe. And if you're looking for guidance and help of doing that transition from 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneurship, I know Samantha and I were talking to, I was talking to her a couple of weeks ago. She was like, every 2 weeks, I know what bills come out. Now I got to map out, okay, when I got to
calculate. I was like, I should do a budget plan now.
Right. So definitely reach out to us, and we like to help people as they're going in that journey. So it's been amazing, Samantha. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. And it's good seeing you guys again with the little one.
I know. Clearly, my time is almost up.
Yep, you know when it's coming. I know.
Yeah. So you guys, this has been amazing. Samantha is just, please reach out to her if you're going through it. But we're here every Wednesday. And this is one of the reasons why I love doing the show, is just different aspects of life, of seeing how women and mommies are doing it, as especially being African American, and really doing the business thing, because it's hard, and it's definitely hard in our community. But I hope that these shows encourage you that it can definitely be done with a baby on your hip. Okay. So thank you guys for joining me. Again, my name is Melissa Jake, CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning. But on this show, I am a mom of two. I am a business owner, and I'm a wife. And most of my people tell me, Melissa, you do everything. Okay. I'm Jamaican. I got 3 jobs. Okay. So I will see you guys later, and have a great evening.